expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control. Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the workstation.
Hello guys, Turbocharged 51 over here! I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, we start off this episode with a little bit of bad news. One upgrade has failed. Not what we would have wanted, but it's the first upgrade in a while that has failed, so it's not really something we can complain about. Guys, F1 2019, it's strong on its way. Can't wait for this Friday, it's going to be epic. Guys, also looking at the performance chart, Ferrari are still leading the way from Mercedes, Red Bull, and then myself. I have officially caught up to Red Bull and Mercedes. So these top 4 teams, it's going to be a very close battle this weekend here at Monza. 5th place is Renault, 6th McLaren, 7th Force India, 8th is Haas Racing, and then bringing up the rear, it's still Alfa Romeo Sauber and Williams Martini Racing fighting for the wooden spoon, if you can put it that way. Now guys, heading here this week into Monza, you guys know it's not just the home race of Ferrari, but also the home race of my team. Scuderia Toro Rosso is an Italian team, so I was going to be fighting for my team's home race victory as well as Gasly. So it's going to be a Ferrari versus Toro Rosso battle, but first let's head to qualifying.
Qualifying is about to start here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. The teams are about to head out onto the track any minute now. This has been an exciting track in times gone by, and typically it entertains the moment the lights go out.
We've seen in the past how tricky the first corner is. It's not an issue in practice and qualifying, but if you throw a lot of highly competitive drivers at it all at once, you've got an entirely different situation. The smarter drivers will be able to temper their approach and stay out of trouble, but it doesn't mean it's easy.
So we are here in the pit box ready for qualifying. Quickly want to remind you guys to follow me on all my social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, because I am always up to date with the latest F1 2019 news and also giving you guys updates on when my videos release. So please follow me on all my social media platforms. Heading here onto our one and only lap for Quali 1. Guys, I had so much confidence heading into this weekend, it was not even funny. And you guys are going to see just with Quali 1 how much pace we have. This is just literally one lap, it was just a banker lap, and my banker lap was so immensely quick. We come around the final corner, we're going to cross the line, and I was zooming with confidence after this lap. I felt amazing after this. We do a 1 minute 18.4, which in my books is an incredibly fast lap. We go to the pit box, and we are actually second at the stage with only Sebastian Vettel in front of us. And at this stage, I just sat back, and I was just like, now qualifying can finish Quali 1. We are safely through. We ate the quali, still in second place. So at this stage, guys, I came up with an idea, a very good idea. To have a strategy advantage in the race, I thought by myself, why don't I try qualifying for my fastest lap in Quali 2, because that's the tyre you start the race on the middle compound, yellow walled, soft tyre. So, for my first lap in Quali 2, I went out on a worn set of super soft tyres, the exact super soft tyres that I used in Quali 1. And then this was really, I actually went at a few places on the circuit, I went a bit slower, like with a 10th on purpose, because I really wanted to start the race on the yellow walled soft tyre. I was not going to have the best launch off of the line due to the lack of grip, but I was going to have a massive strategy advantage over the rest of the field, unless somebody else also qualifies on soft tyres. But I didn't see anyone trying this strategy actually. So I was the only car going for this. And this is make or break. We finally have a car that can do strategies like this. And guys, I was panicking as soon as I exited the garage, because I knew if I messed this up, I was going to put myself at a very big disadvantage come race day if I start in P15. So we have to do a better lap than the first lap. But like I said, I slowed down at a few places on the circuit to make sure that I get a very good lap in for my final lap. We're going here through the last triple chicane onto the final back straight and heading into the last corner. You guys can see I am quite up a significant amount on my first lap time. So let's see if we can get this car into Quali 3 with the soft tires. I go through the final corner, I get a little bit of oversteer, but nothing major. The car spins the rear tires. We go across the line and actually very quite comfortable we get ourselves into quali 3 by putting in a lap that is good enough for 3rd position. That shows you guys how much pace I've got in this car. We can actually try and fight for P1 on the grid. But at Monza, that's not really something you want to do, because then it's a really long run all the way to the first corner, and slipstream at this track is quite very OP. But also want to remind you guys, if you've enjoyed the video so far, please leave a like. If you stay till the end, you at least owe me a like. But when you get to the end and you still like what you see, don't just leave a like. Hit that subscribe and don't forget to ding that bell, guys. Now we're heading out for our first lap in quali 2. Once again, strapping on the same worn super soft tires that I used in quali 1 and in quali 2. I don't know why I did that. Actually, I think I was just a little bit messing around, and I wanted to do a last lap that is like 2 seconds faster. Sometimes you just feel good about yourself and you do stuff like that. But to be quite honest, this first lap was not very bad at all, actually, considering I did it on worn tires. I do a 1 minute 18.8, which was faster than the lap I did in quali 2. But now, guys, fresh set of super soft tires, and I was ready to go guns blazing. I really thought that we had the pace to get at least like P4, but I really thought that I in myself had the pace to get P1. So we're P7 on the grid at this stage, which is not a good enough for me. The least I'm taking is P4. I hope Pierre Gasly also has a brilliant qualifying. I don't know where Pierre is at this stage, guys, but we are the final car crossing the line with 12 seconds to go on the clock. Let's head around this beautiful international Monza circuit in Italy. Braking as late and as hard as you can into the first corner. It's a very tight chicane. Second gear, clip the curb on the inside. First gear down for the second curb, clip it on the inside, and open the throttle as quick as possible, but avoid the wheel spurt, so you are more than welcome to short shift there. Hug the inside of the track here to have the shortest run into the 4th and 5th corner. It's also a chicane. Brake all the way down to 3rd gear, clip the curb on the inside, and also on the inside again, and run out onto the, not into the gravel, which I just did, but clip the curb on the outside, heading through these very complex right-handers. The first one is quite hard to get right. The second one, clip the curb on the inside, run out to the outside curb, and open the throttle as quickly as possible. It's a DRS detection zone, this. Going down this hill, overtake on the ERS as fast as humanly possible. You guys can see we are achieving immense top speeds here at Italy. We're going through the triple chicane for the final time. Clip the curbs on all the insides, otherwise you're going to get a terrible run out of that corner. I get a little bit of oversteer as I come out of those 2-3 corners, but we're heading to the final corner now. Down to 4th gear to get the car to turn in. Short shift up into 5th gear. Well, you can't really short shift there. 6th gear, 7th gear. As soon as you hit 8th gear, bump the car down to overtake mode, and the run to the line, and we qualify in position!
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Vettel, O'Connor and Kimi Räikkönen. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
This car is a car that can win our home Grand Prix. I'm saying that now. Guys, let's head to the Italian Grand Prix.
It's race day here in Italy once again. Monza, home to so many records. The smallest winning margin, for example. Do you remember in 1971, Peter Gethin beat Ronnie Peterson to the line by 1/100th of a second. There were 40 overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Räikkönen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Sergio Perez. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and O'Connor completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Hamilton, Pierre Gasly, and Ocon. Verstappen, Ricciardo, Perez. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Charles Leclerc, Grosjean, Ericsson, Fernando Alonso, and Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll, Sergei Sirotkin, and Stoffel van Dorn. Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
We're in a very good position today. Let's see if we can do even better in the race.
Are you guys ready for this Italian Grand Prix? Because I am hyped. The best qualifying I've ever had. P2 on the grid. But now I've got the disadvantage of the cars behind me slipstreaming me into the first corner and also being on the harder compound tire. But guys, we're gonna go guns blazing. Are you ready for 5 red lights here in Italy? And it's go, go, go for the Italian Grand Prix. An Italian front row lockout with Toro, Rosso and Ferrari. You guys can see I get a horrendous start off of the front line. My teammate pressures me. My championship rival Kimi Raikkonen pressures me. It's all popping off here in Italy. We go to the first corner. And then, oh, there's contact between Kimi and Lewis. Oh, they hold up my teammate Gasly. Gasly goes around them. The safety car has been called out. Already massive controversy here at Italy. Only we didn't even get through the first corner. Oh boy. Guys, let's jump onto the replay camera of my POV. We get a very, very bad start. You guys can see these yellow walled soft tires do not have the grip that those super soft tires have. And you guys saw in the warm-up lap, I warmed up the rear so good, I just didn't have the grip. Heading into the first quarter, no contact from my side whatsoever. And then just Kimi decides to go and assassinate Lewis Hamilton. I think Lewis's race is over, but this is Italy, and that Mercedes has got a very good car. Well, Mercedes have got a very good car, so Hamilton can still bounce back. It's only the beginning of the Grand Prix, and the safety car has been called out. So I think Kimi didn't give Lewis enough space. Kimi should have backed off. But what can you do? That's racing. You can't win them all. You can't do good at all of the races. Guys, but at the end of lap 3, the safety car is coming in. It's Vettel leading from myself. My teammate Pierre Gasly is in third. So it's an all-Italian podium at this stage when it comes to the teams. But I want this victory, and I'm sure my teammate Gasly and Vettel want it just as much, or maybe even more. It's all got to show now. It's green, green, green. We're back racing. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Overtake on the ERS. Let's catch Vettel. We go to the outside of the straight. This Toro Rosso is so strong in a straight line. I went for a minimum downforce setup on the car, guys. We are well ahead of Vettel heading into the first corner, and now my teammate Gasly is also fancying a move. Guys, if we take this away from Ferrari at their home in Italy, I even think the Italian fans, even though we are an Italian team, are not going to like that, because this is Ferrari's home. My teammate Gasly goes for a move on the outside while Vettel tries to go for me on the inside for the next part of the chicane. Go Gasly! Go Gasly! Let's go, baby. We are here. It's 1-2 for Scuderia, Toro Rosso, and Ferrari. I think it's 3-5 at this stage. There's a Force India in between the Ferrari, so he's in a Ferrari sandwich. But now Gasly has not stopped there. I get a terrible run out of the second right-hander, and Gasly is right on my gearbox. Gasly has got the overspeed. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm early onto the brakes. It doesn't help I take out my teammate. Let's try and take him back as we head to the end of the lap. It doesn't help we take each other out, guys. That'll be stupid. But now I get a terrible run once again. These soft tires are horrendous around Italy, and the tire wear as well. Even the safety car was out. I could feel the tire wear already kicking in, just like the super soft runners would be feeling at this stage. Heading to the final corner, you guys can see Gas has already got about half a second on us. Let's watch okay, I take it away, but I was about a half a second away. I bumped the car down to overtake. No DRS yet, thanks to the safety car, and I think I have just given Pierre Gasly the Italian Grand Prix, guys. He's got a bolt away. I do not have the same grip as he does, and at this track, grip means so much coming out of corners. We jump onto the end of lap 6. You guys can see Gasly is so far away. I am defending with my life. Where am I going? From the two Ferraris. And yeah, I went majorly wide there. I can remember I had a massive kick-off oversteer mid-corner. I had to go wide. It's myself versus Vettel versus Raikkonen. Guys, remember, even if Gasly wins the Grand Prix, Gasly is not in the championship fight. That's between me, Kimi, and Valtteri. And I don't even know where Bottas is in this Grand Prix. By the way, for those of you that don't know, his name is Valtteri. I don't like saying Bottas. It's a really weird surname when you're a South African, so I like to say Valtteri. It sounds more normal. Now, Valtteri, Kimi, and myself, we are in the fight for the championship, and at this stage, Kimi Raikkonen takes P3 away from his teammate. Guys, Sebastian Vettel is having the most horrendous start after the safety car. He has gone from P1 now almost to P5 because Checo himself, Sergio Perez, oh no, that's Esteban Ocon. That is Esteban Ocon. Excuse me for that. Esteban Ocon is pressuring Vettel, and down the little back straight. Well, not the little back straight, the DRS straight. Sergio takes P4 and Vettel is down to P5. Guys, I can't see the lap. I think it was the end of lap 9. My teammate Pierre Gasly finally comes into the pit lane with the humongous lead that he has. Nobody can touch Gasly at this stage, and I think I'm just making it easier for him by actually keeping everybody behind me as long as I possibly could. He straps on a set of medium wall tires, and he's going to the end, as well as this is Kimi Raikkonen. But Kimi has a front wing replacement. Where did Kimi hit someone? Most probably, oh yes, the start with Hamilton. Most probably there was contact and he broke his front wing, which we didn't see. But that's okay. Heading on to lap 10, guys, you guys can see I'm still ahead of Vettel. I dive into the pit lane just ahead of him, and this is going to be Toro Rosso versus Ferrari mechanics. Let's see who's got the better mechanics. We know at this stage that Ferrari is still the better car, but who's got the better mechanics? Vettel is into the pit lane, soft, super softs onto mediums. I'm into the pit lane, softs onto mediums. We come out, and we are still ahead of that red Ferrari that comes out of Maranello. There you guys see Gasly passes us. He is so far ahead. He's trying to set up a move on Roman Grosjean and Marcus Ericsson, but those two cars are just too wide at this stage, and Gasly is getting held up significantly. But guys, I'm not even going to keep you guys thinking. Gasly got past these guys very soon. I unfortunately didn't get the replay, and Gasly, to say he bolted away is a very, very large understatement, because he flew away. I didn't have anything for Gasly. Even though my tires were newer than his, I couldn't touch Gasly, not even a little bit. We head here onto the end. I think this is lap 14 or lap 15. I'm not quite sure. I didn't check his steering wheel. But Pierre Gasly, my teammate, is flying the flag for Toro Rosso at our home Grand Prix in Italy. I am battling away with Kimi Räikkönen, with Sebastian Vettel, hammer and tong for second place. I think Vettel wanted to get past me so he could go and chase after Gasly, but I was just not going to allow it. So P2 and P3, it's myself and Sebastian. P4, by some other miracle, is Lewis freaking Hamilton. I think Lewis put on the power and he just completely flew. 5th place, now it's Sergio Perez from Kimi Räikkönen in 6th. 7th is Daniel Ricciardo, 8th Valtteri Bottas, 9th Max Verstappen, and bringing up the rear end of the top 10, it is Kevin Magnussen in the first four for the Haas cars. Remember guys, they have Ferrari engines in the back, so this is also a very good Grand Prix for them to actually do good. At all of this, Hamilton caught up to me and Vettel, and now it's a 3-car scrap for P3, and this race is not nearly done. Guys, you guys can see now myself and Hamilton has got the DRS, but this Toro Rosso is so OP in a straight line with the low downforce setup and the extremely powerful engine we've got in the back of it. We just saw past Hamilton and Vettel, and we are back up into P2. I think these two guys were so frustrated with me, it's not even funny. We head here onto to lap 15 guys, and now Hamilton has put himself in between myself and Vettel, and he is pressuring me like actually worse than Vettel was. But these two, remember, oh, Hamilton has a big lockup, he nearly goes into the gravel trap. Well saved there, Mr. Hamilton, well saved. But now Vettel is back on my rear end. In any case guys, remember these two cars aren't even the cars I'm battling in the championship. It's their teammates I'm battling in the championship, and you guys can see them in the distance. Kimi Räikkönen is very quickly on his way to catch this group, and then it's going to be a 4-car scrap for P2. Oh boy, this is going to be crazy. I need to find a way to get away from these guys, otherwise they are going to keep me and stuff is just not going to work out. I need to get away. You guys can see I'm so strong in a straight line. If I use overtake on the ERS and rich mix, we're even Vettel having DRS, he just can't get to me in time to make a move. But finally guys, Kimi Räikkönen caught up to us. Let me tell you what happened guys. I finally got away from Vettel and Hamilton and those two. Then Kimi caught up to them, overtook them very easily, and now Kimi was chasing after me like never before, because now the two championship rivals are going at it. And you guys know how close me and Kimi are in the championship. It's now a fight till the very last race in Abu Dhabi, and I don't think Kimi or me are going to give each other an inch. It's going to be a literal fist fight till the end. But guys, we head here onto lap 25, and my teammate Pierre Gasly was dominating this Grand Prix in exceptional fashion. He was showing me now that if I gave him a good car and he actually gets a good qualifying, he can do something. I finally got away from Kimi Räikkönen, and he was starting to battle once again with Hamilton, Vettel, and actually Sergio Perez. So it is almost final that me and Gasly were going to get a 1-2 for Scuderia Toro Rosso at our home Grand Prix. But let's look at this battle guys, because it is Sebastian Vettel versus Kimi Räikkönen versus Sergio Perez versus Lewis Hamilton. These guys are fighting with everything they've got, and even Daniel Ricciardo there in the background is starting to catch up to these guys because they are fighting every single chance they get. But Kimi has to get away from them guys. If Kimi doesn't get third, it's going to be a massive blow to him in the championship. I'm already second, so already they are going to have a massive blow to them in the championship, especially now with the constructors as well, because it's Toro Rosso 1-2 and at this stage only Ferrari 3-5. So Vettel also has to pull up his socks and get something going here. But I think Kimi has finally broken away. You guys can see I was running away from these guys, which I actually felt good about, because it's actually fun to finally have a car that has pace, and when I get the chance I can actually extend the gap. But don't ask me to try and catch Gasly, because that was never going to happen. Gasly was in a class of his own this entire Grand Prix guys. Honestly, this entire Grand Prix, Gasly was the guy to beat, and nobody could. Nobody. I think I didn't help the fact that I kept all these guys behind me almost the entire race, but I really wanted second place. I knew I was not going to catch Gasly after I saw after 12 laps what the gap he pulled, but I was trying everything to keep second place. A 1-2 for Scuderia Toro, so it will be our first ever 1-2 together guys. We head on to the very final lap guys, and Sebastian is even trying to catch back up to Kimi. I think Seb wants this podium as well. You guys know what a terrible season Sebastian has had, and now it's him versus Raikkonen on the very final lap. Myself and Gasly are so far ahead, there's nothing these guys can do about it. So let's see, is Vettel going for a move into the second chicane? Yes, he is. Kimi goes to the fence, but they're not alongside each other. They're going through the chicane. Let's see if they go, what Vettel does into these two right-handers. Oh, Checo is going for a move. Oh, and I think that just spooked Vettel, and Kimi is gone. Kimi is gone. There's nothing Vettel can do about this, guys. Guys, look how far Gasly is ahead. Gasly, you son of a gun. You deserve this victory out and out, even though I wanted it so badly. GG's. Frickin' hell, Pierre Gasly, get in there, lad, get in there. And then myself is going to come through in second, guys. What a brilliant Grand Prix, battling from start to finish. But I think we at Toro Rosso deserve this victory more than anybody else on the grid. So get in there, lad. P1 and P2 for Scuderia Toro Rosso.
Yes, that's a podium. Excellent drive. The team have worked especially hard this weekend, and this is a fantastic reward.
Brilliant stuff from Toro Rosso today. What a superb victory. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Probably Carlos Sainz. You know, strong pace, good work with the strategy, just a very complete drive, I think.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the championship. Meanwhile, Toro Rosso's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy. Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. You had a close battle today, didn't you? Did you have the wrong fuel strategy today, or was it your management? Great, well that's everything.
Guys, what an Italian Grand Prix. Guys, the fight between me and Kimi Raikkonen can be separated by a needle. It is so close, it's not even funny. This championship is heating up race by race.
Just wanted to say congrats on the podium. It's thoroughly deserved. We were sweating those last few laps on the pit wall, but you brought it home.
Guys, you have to be subscribed to watch the end of this season. I'm sorry, but you are stupid if you don't do that. This is going to be an excellent season running to the end. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Don't forget to ding the bell, and I'll see you all for the next Grand Prix in fancy Singapore. So guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers!